going on, man? Hey, dude.
Wow. What's up, man? How you doing, dude?
Man, pretty good. What's going on?
Not a whole lot, man. Just sitting here, chilling out, not doing a daggum thing. So drinking a little coffee drink,
Oh, like it.
enjoying my eating.
Down with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's one of those kind of things that happens where everybody's kind of like, oh yeah, why didn't you say that last weekend? Because I was too scared to say it. Going into this weekend, the Bulldogs playing Kentucky, I was nervous as shit. I just no two ways about it, and I didn't bring it up just because I didn't want to admit it.
I understand. Um, Georgia, Kentucky, as you know, any resident of this state can tell you if
Can
they
go either way.
follow. It's prickly. There are times when that game is quite prickly. What I didn't realize until I saw the scoreboard is that Kentucky's pretty doggone good.
Yes,
They were like top 10, or it's like, oh my god, okay, go on.
uh, they were undefeated as well.
Yeah,
Kentucky's always been one of those teams that it's not if they're going to beat somebody, it's who. They're always going to
exactly,
get somebody,
exactly. Yeah, that's a great way to say it.
and so that's kind of and with the type of season they've been having, I was like, that could be us.
This year, not this year, not this year, not this year.
No.
I have not seen Georgia play this year. I've only seen box scores.
Oh yeah,
But you and I discussed it after the Clemson game, and I understand Clemson's Clemson. They got to replace their whole offense and all that kind of stuff. But it's Clemson and it's Gambo, and you give up 3 points to those kids. Oh boy, it's
yeah,
like it's gonna be a long year for a lot of us that play Georgia. But we were
yeah.
talking a minute ago about the Braves, and we'll get to that as well. But I can't believe that I didn't mention the shirt, because you're right. It's like it's just neat. There's really cool. There's a lot of cool things going on with sports in this town right now. And I'd mentioned
Oh
that
yeah.
these fellas won yesterday, which was, I think it was yesterday, the last game they played. It was
Mhm.
fantastic. But I can't believe I didn't even bring that up. But it's good because we're talking about it now. But I was
That's
keeping
true.
kind of an eye on that. And when I saw the final, I'm like, go on, y'all, because it's so messed up. You know, I never pull. I shouldn't say I never pull for Georgia. It's just I'm a Tech guy. That's my team. That is who I love. But there
It is
is,
possible because I'm one of those people. I've got family ties to both schools.
sure,
I'm satisfied either way. To be quite honest, I love them both.
my main thing with Georgia is that I like to see Auburn beat Georgia because my brother's a huge Auburn fan. And I like to see us beat Georgia on the rare occasion that we do. But other than that, it's better for us if y'all are good. Yeah, it just is, man. I don't know if we've ever beaten an actually really good Georgia. I shouldn't say really good. We've beaten good Georgia teams, but as far as like elite 10 win, I don't think we've ever done that. I don't think we've ever actually beaten a really good Georgia team. But hey, man, you can't do it if you don't get the chance. So they got to win
Yeah,
along the way.
heck yeah.
But I like
That's
to be in it.
and
I'm
that's
sorry.
one thing we've said. It's going to happen one of these days that an undefeated Tech team is going to roll into an undefeated Georgia team, and the whole state's just going to explode.
It will. It will. The state will melt down. It'll be just, it's awful. What will happen is, instead of Florida breaking off and floating away, it'll actually be our state line, and
Yeah,
we'll both go. We'll both go crashing into Cuba.
yeah, man. But it was a good weekend to be had. I was just talking about the going out to play the. I'm still in Greg Proops' joke. The Dollars, or being up 2-0 is a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. And still, it's after last night's game, because everybody hates the fact that the Braves are the hot team at the right time. And but the whole series with well, even the Dodgers having to play their way into the playoffs. Period. They were butthurt about doing that with the playoff game. Then going through the Giants series, they were uh, bitching and moaning about that. So it's all this talk about, well, we got to reseed. Just we can't have these 107 win and 8 win teams, just eliminating each other. Like, that's the breaks. But anyway, point is, after the first game, it ended both of these games. It's a scoring a run in the ninth inning to win it. So uh, the first game's over, like, this was a must-win game for the Braves. Like, fine, whatever. I don't think so. And then after tonight, it's like, oh well, remember last year? It's fresh in their minds. They were up 3-1, and they fucked it up.
That's what
keep
they
that in
broadcast
mind.
us back to say, right?
Yeah.
Bob can get away with that, man. Don't forget last year when Atlanta shit the bed.
Yes.
Bob Costas' impression sucks, but I would like to hear him say that.
Yeah. Oh, I was the first to admit, going into playing, and there was no home field advantage last year, so you can't really say anything about that. But going into the last two games, and you got Max Fried and Ian Anderson pitching, I was one of the ones that said it. You're gonna win one of those two games.
Still good, yeah. You're real good about it.
And I've learned my lesson to never go into a series confident as a Braves fan. It's just not a good game plan.
It's true. It's better to wait till it's over and then be like, oh, we did?
Oh.
Dude, seriously?
Well, I'll be damned. That was great.
Well, I'll just be damned. Holy crap.
but still, man, now I'm moved on from being nervous about losing to Kentucky. Now we have Florida coming, so now I was like, oh, damn it.
I am.
We're off this weekend, so it's always, you have that off week going into the Florida game, and that just gives them plenty of time to get pissed off about something that we've done.
I'm really hoping that Kirby Smart will take a shit and just absolutely, because I don't like University of Florida. I just don't. And I am hoping that this will be kind of a trend breaker year where, okay, tight game. All right, that's cool. Not Florida. I'm hoping that the offense will absolutely just destroy. I'm hoping that you'll beat them by 4 scores, 5 scores. Just kill them. I would absolutely love that because I don't like Florida. I got no time for them.
That's one of the things I do struggle with. And one of the reasons why I justify, I pull for Tech, I pull for Georgia, because it's really hard for me to pull for this conference that we play in. Because there's a lot of those people like, good for the conference, good for everybody. There's some of these teams that we play with that I just absolutely cannot stand, and that's just how it has to be. I can't always pull for the conference, so I'm just going to pull hard as hell for my teams and kind of F everybody else.
That's how that goes, man. It's weird. The ACC is a weird split because there are other teams in the conference that I really like. But boy, it ain't all of them. Yeah. I can't pull for Florida State ever. I can't tell you the last time I even paid attention to Florida State, Florida, because I hate both of them. I got no time for either one of them. So I'm just with you. There's just certain teams.
Not since Charlie Ward.
I love Charlie. It's interesting. I was actually talking about him yesterday, man. I was talking about Charlie and Warwick Dunn, Warwick Dunn playing for the Falcons is one of the coolest things that ever happened in my life because I loved Dunny when he was in Tallahassee. And then when we got him and could pull for him here, it's like, oh, this is so nice.
Yeah, man.
But I'm with you, Charlie. The conversation about Charlie was just more people, man, can you imagine what Charlie Ward would be in the NFL now? And I'm like, it'd be amazing. Like Ward, Hamilton, I can't imagine Mike Vick now. All these rules that were put in place to protect the next Mike Vick. It's like, man, what if he would have got that? What if he would have got that protection? He would have been unstoppable, man. But my thing with Charlie, you just try and people do it with LeBron too. Like, could you imagine if LeBron played football instead of basketball? Well, he's only the iconic basketball player of his generation. He's the most iconic player since Kobe. I don't think he made the wrong choice, especially when you consider that, as I've said many times before, NBA contracts are guaranteed, NFL contracts are not. It is not a difficult choice. It ain't.
Yeah.
Having said that, people still want to try and make him a football player. So, of course, they're going to do the same thing with the guy that won the Heisman Trophy. But it's like I just said, man, first of all, I think Charlie's first love was basketball, so that ain't hard. But secondly, man, he was a point guard. He was a professional point guard, starting point guard for 10 years, man.
Yeah.
I promise y'all he made the right decision. And especially at the time he would have been playing in the NFL. Ain't nobody looking to sign him up, man. He's too short. He's too small. He's a black kid, though. Don't play that style. But they do now. I was thinking about this the other day with watching the highlights of the Atlanta-Toronto game. Major League Soccer is a very fun league to watch because if you watch England all the time, or if you watch Spain all the time, or any of the huge European league, yeah, man, quality-wise, they are much better than Major League Soccer. But Major League Soccer is like watching the Mid-American Conference in like the mid-2000s, which sounds like an insult, but it ain't. What happens is anybody playing Division One football, you have talent on your team. But as you move down from the Southeastern, the Big Ten, all the huge conferences, and you get to Conference USA, Middle American, stuff like that, Mid American, excuse me, what happens is all your talent is on the offensive side of the ball. So that's when you wind up with games that are like 51-49, and it's fun. Now we're talking 51-49 in 2005 points. That's different than now. Everybody gets to 51-49 now, and that's why. It's because when you legislate defense out of the game, mid-major conference football in the early to mid 2000s is the most entertaining version of football there has ever been. It's the reason that even the NFL now has rules that make it look like that. It's awesome. It is awesome. I trip on the NFL all the time, and I really don't mean to here. I want to give them a compliment here. For just pure enjoyment, just turn on the game and have a great time being entertained by it. It ain't never been better, man. It's never been better. It's so exciting. And college football is like that too. The big difference, as you know, college ball, you still get some just, oh my God, runaways, which in the NFL this week, there were a lot of runaways too. So I really, my timing is not good to make that point, but there were some good ones too. But it's just like what they've turned the game into. For all the, oh man, it's all soft now and they used to go both ways. Man, fuck that, dude. It's never been more. It's the same thing with basketball. People pissing and moaning, mostly old head players. That, man, it's just a bunch of threes. That's not basketball. I'm sorry that you don't like it, but this shit's entertaining as fuck to a lot of people. So
Oh, yes.
there you have it. It's cool. I don't know what your problem is because I haven't ever seen basketball I didn't like. I like all kinds of basketball. Speaking of basketball, I like, man. Excuse me.
They play in basketball in about a week.
Every little bit, dude. They just wrapped the WNBA season. Just wrapped. I think it was yesterday, and Chicago won. Which what I like about that. Man, I'm sorry. I drank that coffee obviously too quick. Candace Parker went back to join that team. That's not where she's been, but apparently that's where she's from. So she literally signed the hometown deal to play for her team, and they freaking won. I'm like, that's cool. That's just a cool story, man. So yes, they wrapped today, and you're right. I'm pretty sure the preseason's done, or it's real close to done. And yeah, man, we're about to get serious, which I can't wait for because I'm just for all the lack of preseason hype about the Atlanta Hawks. If you live around here, people know it's exciting, man.
Man, they're gonna be good.
Yeah, I think so too. I totally agree with you. It's like, man, these fellas gonna be fun.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. I'm quite excited. The Eastern Conference is looking real fun, man. I know that I still want to say New Jersey. I know Brooklyn's going to be real good. Atlanta's going to be really good. Everybody says Philly's going to be good. We'll see. We'll see. I've been hearing that Philly was going to be the hot shit for, I don't know, 7 years now, maybe 8.
Yeah.
Been a long time. Yeah. And they're fine. They'll be a fine team because Embiid's a really good player. Tobias Harris is a really good player. Ben Simmons can be a very good player. And nobody wants to say what Simmons' problem is. Ben Simmons' problem is that he was drafted by Philadelphia. Ben Simmons is a beat you off the dribble, go to the hole, and kill you because he's tall with hitting, finger rolls and, layups and drawing fouls. We talked about it, man. Free throws. I mean, I remember we had this conversation on here. I believe when he was drafted. It was either when he was drafted or once they gave him Rookie of the Year, which I'm still mad about because Donovan Mitchell should have won that shit walking away. And no, it's not that, well, he's not really a rookie. He sat out the first. I don't care about that. It's the first year he played. You can call him a rookie. Donovan Mitchell deserved it because he had a better season. I don't give a shit about that technicality. Well, he really, no, fuck that dude. Donovan Mitchell should have won that award. Anyway, sorry, got sidetracked. Ben Simmons shot shit from the free throw line his first season. So that's going to be a problem. He's a big guy. He draws a lot of contact. You better start hitting those. And then he got better. And then he got even better than that. And then last year, he just went in the tank again, and I hate it for him. It's just like, that's going to be a huge problem. So for all the talk about, he won't even take a three. He's got to shoot threes. Fuck that, man. He's huge. He's got to hit free throws. That's what he's got to do. See, we know what we're talking about in Atlanta because that's the whole thing about Trae Young. For all the talk of, well, Trae's not going to get those cheap ticky-tack fouls anymore. Like I said, he shoots more three-point plays than he does four-point plays because he attacks the cup. And when you do that, you draw fouls. That's how that works. So Trae's going to be just fine. His preseason numbers look just fine, man. Yeah. I am excited. One thing I will say, because we've talked about it and I'll stand by it. Nobody is talking about Cam Reddish as most improved player, and I think that's a mistake. I think that's somebody that people should really keep an eye on to potentially win that award. I think he's in the running for most improved and probably sixth man of the year too, because I don't think he'll be. He might be a starter. I don't think he will be, but you know what? I haven't seen projected lineups. I'm not really sure.
Yes, it's tough to say.
I'm with you, man. It's very exciting. Good stuff, man. You got
that was the fun reminder of just how close we are to the basketball season, because watching the division series and up until the start of the championship series on TBS, you had Ernie Johnson there doing post game and pre game, and then he had to leave to go get ready to do that. So it's like, cool, we're even closer than I thought.
It's extremely cool, man. That EJ's got to get called away to his number one gig.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not that you forget how good he is at what he does, but the guy can do everything.
You're absolutely right, man. He is. It's really, this is a very mean thing to say about Ernie, and I hate to even put him in this company. But one of the things about Ernie, in my unfortunate brain, is that with Ernie Johnson being Ernie Johnson Jr., I don't know. I'm afraid I draw a parallel with him and Joe Buck, and it's like they could not be more different, because Joe Buck has his job for one reason. That's because of who his old man is. Ernie Jr., not true. He is so good. I'm totally with you. He is absolutely fantastic at everything, because when you mentioned him doing baseball, I'm like, God, he does do baseball. He can do everything. You're totally right. I love that guy. So I'm excited about basketball. It's ridiculous. I'm spinning my wheels, but I'm just thinking about it. I'm stoked. I'm excited to see what the Lakers can do, because I like the Lakers. Oh, they lost all their preseason games. Do I give a shit about their preseason games? This is the cute thing about the Lakers preseason.
That is pointless as preseason NFL.
This is the thing I love about that. I'm glad you mentioned the NFL, because the NFL put Thomas Brady on Thursday night. Same night the Lakers lost their sixth preseason game. Guess what the lead story on all the talking heads shows was Friday morning? Not Tom Brady playing a regular season football game. But we're going to talk about preseason basketball. Yeah, keep trying to tell me that I'm the crazy one saying the NFL is shaking in their fucking boots. They are. It's not they're shaking in their boots. They know it's done. It's cool. I'm glad they're going out so well, because, again, it's entertaining as crap. The game has never been more fun to watch. The basketball owns their ass, and they know it. You're talking preseason basketball played by LeBron James instead of regular season football played by Tom Brady. That's all you need to know, man. That to me says everything.
Yeah, man. That's cool stuff.
It is cool stuff, man. Dagnabbit.
Man, because of all the crazy stuff going on in the world, there was still some fun news this week where Jeff Bezos, we thought he was going to try to kill Captain Kirk in space, and it didn't happen. But one of the neatest things about that story to me was just how you don't see Shatner show much emotion. Genuine joy is what he had when he came back. Just the way he was describing, like, oh, you go from the blue and to the black, and I just wish everybody could see it. And that's one of, I guess, the big question that everybody has is, would you do it? At least for myself, and today the answer is yes, but I'm sure I would probably look like Shatner getting on that rocket going up. It's like, I don't know about this. What have I got myself into? Oh, Christ. They're going to kill me in space. I know it.
Not sure I made the right decision here.
Oh God. So I had fun watching that stuff. I just, you know, uh, a, a a guy that comes off kind of prickly, having that genuine emotion when he came back down. I thought, man, this is kind of neat,
That's
and I
cool.
could just I just wanted to hear Richard Branson, say, "Well, I'm taking Picard," or Elon. They're like, "Well, I'm reaching out to Harrison Ford. I'm going to send him up in space as someone in a dog suit."
TNG for life, brother. Engage. Richard Branson renames his spacecraft the SS Engage. I was wondering, I couldn't help, man. If you're William Shatner and Jeff Bezos kind of conscripts you to go to space, man. At some point, if you've seen the movie, you have to be like, "This isn't a Galaxy Quest situation, is it?" They're stealing it to go save a forsaken universe. Galaxy
Was
Quest is so unbelievably. I don't even want to say underrated because I don't know anyone that's seen it that does not love it. It is beloved among the people that have seen it.
yeah.
Oh man, the more people see that, the better because it's
Mhm.
fantastic.
Oh man, it's just one of those sleeper good times.
I agree, man.
You kind
Like
of
grab
go into it
thoughts,
thinking, what the heck is this?
like grab thoughts, hammer. What a savings! It is. As many people love Alan Rickman from Harry Potter, and there's no reason not to, but Galaxy Quest. If you really want the master course of Alan Rickman, you gotta watch Galaxy Quest. He is
Heck
so
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, man. But another thing I did this week, because it's the Halloween scary movie kind of season, and I was in the mood to watch something kind of creepy, and it was one of those things that came across HBO one night, and I'll DVR that and I'll get to it. I finally sat down and watched about a year ago. There was a version of The Invisible Man
Mm.
that got released, and it looked good enough. I was like, it's been done before. I'll get around to watching it. I finally sit down and watch my scary movie of the year, and I really got to say, man, good. I thought it was freaking awesome. I really enjoyed it, and I don't know if it was meant to be part of there was the plan to do the Universal Monsters verse that totally crashed and burned. I don't know if still going to try to do that or not. I seriously doubt it. But I don't know if it was meant to be a tie-in to that at all. But when that kind of crapped out, I think they kind of realized we still have something here. We still have an interesting take on this classic story, and we're going to do it. And it's not a first-time director, but he directed a movie. Uh, I don't call him name anyway. Point is, uh, it was one of the type of movies that was so good it makes you want to go look up and see what the other guys written or directed. And there's
Yeah.
not much out there, but I think he's going to be one of those guys that's going to have a lot of interesting stuff. It's Elizabeth Moss is the lead in the movie, and you know, it's I'm not telling anybody anything they already know. If you've seen her in Handmaid's Tale or going back to Mad Men, she's pretty freaking good. And their take on the story is, and she can play woman or person on the brink of mental breakdown probably better than anybody I've ever seen. And when you're talking about this story that an invisible man going around, she she's believable as hell. And it's you know it's one of those kind of things you can kind of watch the movie and be like, yeah, but this could never really happen the way this is going down. But how terrifying would it be if you were in her position?
Yeah.
It is it is kind of slow going, slow rolling in the beginning, but I think they're kind of building up the terror. And once it gets to the hardcore killing, we're going to kill some people. good God Almighty, do they do it well? And it's not a body count type of movie where we're going to rack up all these kills, but it's one of those type of scenes that you're like, what the what the would you do if that happened?
Your Tim Roth moment. What the fuck?
Honest to God, it is. It's a slow burn, setting up this terrible situation she was in. She got herself out of, and you're like, the clouds have parted. Everything's going to be good. And then you kind of, then they're sowing the seeds of maybe this guy is still around. And like, okay, we're still going to handle this. I'm going to talk to the lawyers, let them know. I know this sounds crazy. This man is still here. Then she finally reaches out to the one person that will probably listen to her and be able to help. And she's going to explain, I know how he's doing this. I've seen what he has. This is real. And holy Lord, that scene, it's like, what the hell are we going to do now? Oh my God. And it's not one of those type of movies where I can give it the review of like, you got to go buy a copy of it. You're going to want to watch it. It's going to take the place of Doubt Wednesday.
No.
Oh my God.
After all these years, the champion has finally been toppled.
But it's a a fun. I'm sure it's streaming on something that you can go check it out, and not the typical Halloween type gore fest, but pretty close.
Yeah, that's cool.
It is going to be one of those movies that I think a couple of years from now I'm gonna be like, man, that shit was good. Y'all need to go watch that.
You gotta check that shit out, man.
Hear me now, believe me later. Elizabeth Moss, Invisible Man. Go check it out. I think it was going to be a good one.
That's awesome, man. I have, excuse me. Sorry. I like never watch horror movies, as you know. I don't because I'm stupid.
I mean, maybe it's not fair to call it a horror movie, but it's the season, so I'm counting it.
Yeah, like spooky season. It totally works, man.
Mm-hmm.
What I decided to start watching, done a couple of things. There's a movie, of course, it's all Netflix stuff. Well, 2 Netflix, 1 Plex, because man, I'm sorry, y'all. My throat's getting all crazy. My mainest man, Aaron Strickland, hooked me up with his Plex account, and they've got tons of good stuff on there. But I just, every now and then you'll come into contact with something, and it's like you're not even looking for it. And it's all like, man, I wanted to see that, or oh, I want to watch that again. Excuse me. What keeps cropping up? The first one was, this one is Netflix. I think it's Someone Special, I think is what it's called. And it just kept popping up. And all that, it's strange because I don't know where it came from. Maybe just the hashtag Netflix. I'm really not sure what I liked or stumbled on that got it to come up, because apparently it's just this gut-wrenching romance. And I'm like, hey, man, I keep seeing it. I'll check it out. And that one I was having a hard time getting into. I think that it's just an age thing. I think if I was younger, I'd probably love it. It's just, we'll see. When I finish it, I'll let y'all know if I'll amend the review. But that was one. The other one though was The Favorite, which I have seen and I loved, and that was what I got on Plex to see, and it's there, and I haven't watched it again yet, but it's gonna have to happen because I just really liked it, and I want to watch it again. But that led to Olivia Colman, and it's tricky for me with her because God knows she's in so much crap that I like. It would be hard to pick a favorite thing because, again, Fleabag, I promise I'm not going to go off on Fleabag again, but I just loved it so much that I have to work it into a conversation at least once, then I can keep moving. But between, God, there's so many things I forget, but the ones that like just made me a fan were or the first one that made me a fan was what did I watch before The Favorite? Dadgummit, I'm sorry, I just thought of it. Oh, it's called Flowers. It was on, I think it's called Channel 4. It's one of the alternatives to the BBC. I think that's it. But it was on Netflix forever and then it was gone and now it's back again. So I'm thrilled because that show is awesome. It's her and you know the two guys from the Mighty Boosh?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you know the dude with the long hair that looks like a rock star?
Yeah.
The other one. I
Okay.
don't know anybody's names, but he's like they're the leads on that show, and it's the Flowers, man. It is awesome. That show is killer. As I'd seen the name Olivia Colman 100 times, and I'm like, okay, neat. And then like the rest of the world, I saw her Oscar speech, and I'm like, well, she's just the neatest lady in the world. I like her. And then I started watching the stuff she was in. So I've gotten way sidetracked. Sorry about that. There's a movie. This was one of those things where you have like articles. I'm so happy about this. There are people that literally make their living online writing articles being like, hey, such and such is leaving Netflix in 2 weeks. You better watch it. And I love that because I like them telling me what I should watch. One of them that came up is a movie called Cargo. And there's a couple of movies called Cargo, but this one you'll know it when you see it. I just read the description of it. And it's like a science fiction movie that was made in India. And I'm like, cool, okay, neat. And it turns out that what the movie is about is basically this interstellar cargo transit system, basically like UPS, but intergalactic parcel service. And basically, there's been this peace treaty made between human beings and demons. Demons look just like us. The main character is a demon, but the whole point is that when people die, their souls are basically transferred into this afterworld that looks like outer space and then transition to where they're supposed to go, basically their next life. It's freaking awesome. I loved it. Just the concept was so cool. I'm like, I gotta watch this. And then I did. And I'm like, man, I am glad to have come across that. So that was totally awesome. And then my other one, and this is what I was supposed to say as far as spooky season Halloween movies. What I always find myself watching this time of year is college stuff, things that are set in college. And I thought when I was younger that it was because, well, I'm so used to being on campuses during the fall because of football season. And that makes sense. But also, I just, not having never been to college, I didn't realize that semesters typically begin in the fall. So it's like, oh yeah, that's the whole thing with football season is the students are coming back to campus. Like, oh, okay, cool. All right. Well, that makes sense then. But my buddy Darian, my Atlanta United buddy Darian, and I have discussed, she's the one that got me to watch Fleabag because I knew about it and I wanted to watch it. And then she very pointedly told me, you need to watch that show. You specifically need to watch that show. I think you will dig it. And I'm very lucky in that I have about 4 people that will point blank recommend crap to me and they just never miss. Darian never miss. We were talking actually, I think it was a comment 2 videos ago from my buddy Aura. And man, Aura is on a different planet from everybody. Julie is way up there, but Aura has never suggested anything to me that I less than loved. And it's not even like, oh, that was really good. It's just like, this is part of who I am now. This is Doubt Wednesday. So all of her stuff is like that. Darian's real close. Darian and Julie are like a bracket. So he told me to watch Fleabag. I watched it and I'm like, what else you got? And she told me that there's a show on Netflix called The Chair. So I looked it up, and it's Sandra Oh, who I only know, again, kind of an Olivia Colman thing. I know Sandra Oh from like award shows and interviews. I don't know if I've ever seen any of her work, but I like her. So I'm like, oh, cool, this will be fun. Dude, I'm 4 episodes in. I have not watched all of it yet, but it is fantastic. I love it. I'm so happy to have something new to watch, and it's one of those things where you and I talk about this a lot, man, where the best review you can give something is like, yeah, man, go buy you a copy of that. Mm-hmm. With Netflix stuff, that's not really what I'm going to say. But as far as being in the middle of it, I can't tell you to watch it. I'm not telling you to watch it. I can't tell you to buy it because it's Netflix, and you can only do that with a couple of things they do. But the highest thing I can say about something when I'm in the middle of it is that I think about it when I'm not watching it, and I love that. I absolutely love when you find yourself thinking about stuff that you just watched and not even trying to figure out where it's going. It's not that kind of show. but it's just the main thing with the college is I don't know where they're shooting it, but I'm obsessed with campuses. I love them. I just love them. So it's this fall setting at a campus in the Northeast. Apparently, I don't know where they're shooting it, but it's real pretty. And I'm like, damn, I love this. This shit is amazing, man. So I'm having fun with that show. I think it was the fourth episode where I don't mean to ruin it, but it was a thrill for me. All right, let me not do that. I'll just say that a celebrity cameo that pops up in the fourth episode is hilarious. I didn't see it coming, and they kind of set it up, and then it's like, are they going to get him to be on this show? And they do, and it's hilarious, and he's playing a very Ricky Gervais extra style version of himself, and you know what I mean when I say that, and it's awesome, man. But anyway, I will do a more thorough review of that when I've seen more of it. I don't know how many episodes it is, probably 8, maybe 10. Well, it's only half an hour, but I just haven't checked, but it's dope. That shit is really good, and it's nice to see Sandra Oh in something, because again, she just always struck me as somebody I thought was a neat person, but I just didn't know her work, and man, she's one for one so far, man.
And the thing I always remember about Sandra Oh is watching the movie Sideways. And Sideways was one of those movies that it was so good. Every one of the leads, it makes you want to go to see everything else they've been in. And I like movies like that.
That makes total sense, man.
You had already knew I liked Paul Giamatti. Already knew I liked Thomas Hayden Church. Then you had Natasha Richardson, and you have Sandra Oh. So it's like, it's either a movie will make you want to go track down everything the director's done or everything that the cast is in. So that was one of those movies that did that for me.
Sideways, and man, there are buddies of mine that I've had this conversation with many times. One of them, who I'm talking to right now, there's a list of probably at least 25 movies that I should have seen probably multiple times by now and never have. And boy, Sideways is way the hell up that list. I had a copy of that and I just never got around to watching it, and I don't know why, because it seems awesome. And exactly, you just said, the cast, what I know of them is insane, and wanting to know more about Sandra Oh, I totally should have already seen that, but I gotta get me a bottle of wine and watch that one night, man. I think that needs to happen.
And it's definitely another one that I would probably put that on the list of catch it streaming somewhere, because it's not one of those movies I can say it's a tough watch, but it's hardly going to be in the rotation, but at the same time you feel good that you've seen it.
Yeah, I can totally dig that. I'm trying to be more selective about the things that I buy in that regard, because there are certain movies that I am thrilled to have seen, and I might never watch them again. That's why I have a copy of Midsummer. I love that movie, but I probably am not going to ever watch that one again. I think I'm good.
If it doesn't have comic book heroes in it, I'm probably not going to watch it multiple times.
I understand.
The long and short of it.
I try and be good about that. Anymore, I'm with you. I just try and stream everything. But anything that I watch that I like, I need to watch it twice. And I really shouldn't have said that about Midsummer, because one day I will watch it again, because I have to keep the streak of, if I like it, I got to watch it twice. But normally, as soon as I watch something, I'll watch it again immediately, because I just love that. The second time you watch something, first time I watch something, I'm trying to figure out where it's going. And the second time you watch it, I'm more concerned or more interested in where it's at. I see it better the second time, because there's, and I like that kind of stuff, man. But yes, Sideways is a good, you know what? That just occurred to me. I had how you can do the little Google rewards survey things. I got like a crap ton of money on there, and you can rent pretty much anything for like $3. And that's one I should do, because I'm sure between Amazon or somebody's got that. So
it's worth a $3 watch.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, man. That's a real cool system too, because whatever you rent, you've got like 24 hours from whenever you buy it, and you can watch it however many times you can squeeze it in. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah.
There's a movie called The House of Tolerance that I'm interested in. It's the guy that did
one quick thing. I said Natasha Richardson. I meant Miranda Richardson.
Oh, okay. Oh, dude, that's awesome, man.
Uh,
Because I
uh,
like
for-
her, so that works.
I said it wrong again. Virginia Madsen.
Oh, now Virginia Madsen's interesting because that's Mr. Blonde's sister. And I know Virginia Madsen from Candyman, and that's it.
Yes.
So that would be very cool to. I know for Virginia Madsen from Candyman, and I didn't date her, but we hung out a bit. I used to know a girl that looked like almost just like her. It was fascinating. It was just like, good Lord, man, this is really neat. Are you sure you haven't done any movies?
It's one reason why I don't know why the she was on my mind because I recently listened to a podcast and they did a watch along of Candyman, and so
Oh, excellent.
I remembered the name backwards
That's
and
okay, man.
and wrong altogether.
Hey, dude, you got there. It's all that matters, man.
Yeah. Something about that. I think I said that wrong.
No, man, I do that a lot. There are certain actors that I just will flip, and man, I never catch it. So that was good, dude. I was like, nah, man, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I was there.
Dude, seriously, I was right. It was I can't think of his daggum name, man. Who's the dude that played Jeremy Piven. I always try to make Jeremy Piven and Paul Giamatti the same guy, and it's like,
Yeah.
and I know it's not. I know that it's like you got to stop doing that. Paul Giamatti, by the way, and this is a vast list of people, but of like big time actors that did like cameos or one or two shots on 30 Rock. He was real good. That character that he
Yeah.
played was they just got a couple of lines in his shit that was too hilarious, and it was really nice to see him. This is cool too. I mean, it's Paul Giamatti, man. Just his TV CV is 30 Rock and Downton Abbey, and that's like saying nothing of the movies he's been in. It's like this dude rules, man. And Dad was commissioner of baseball. I mean, come on, this is awesome.
That's even after a whole year of having two players on the Braves. You have Adam Naval and Travis Denaud that I still get confused. They don't even play close to each other.
Dude.
One's a catcher, the other one's in the outfield. Now, Denaud did leave. Well, we got him back towards the end of the season, but still, I'm like, oh no, he's back. Now we're going to get all messed up again.
Here's what I
It's
always
terrible
do.
with names like that.
Dude, this is the thing that I mess up on all the time. Carolina, the Panthers, made that trade with the Jets for the old USC quarterback. His name is Sam Darnold. It's literally the name Arnold with a D on the front of it. Do you know how often I call him Sam Darno? I do it all the time. I constantly will see D apostrophe AUNARD in my head. It's like, that's not him. That guy's a catcher for the Mets. No, he's a catcher for us. It's like, it makes me crazy because even though he's in Atlanta, I still get it wrong all the time.
Yeah, yeah. And but having a name like Giamatti, why he was very, very late in his career till I realized that was Art's kid.
Yeah,
I was
dude,
like,
seriously.
man, that was crazy.
Never put this together ever. And it's just like, dude, that's crazy, man. I think it was, I'm sure it was the Wikipedia era when I found that out at least, because it was all, I just looked it up one day and it's like, makes sense. It's the only other place I'd ever heard that name. And it's like, yep, okay.
Yep. It's one of those kind of things like, well, that can't possibly be right. But sure enough, it is.
It was when I saw him wearing his Fuck Pete Rose t-shirt that I put two and two together.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
I don't know about that. Maybe he's just a Red Sox fan.
I think you done did something there.
Shoot, man. That's about all I know. That's what's going on in the world.
Man, I think I've got everything knocked out. I went through the things that I'm watching on Netflix, and that always makes me happy to discuss that, man. I am happy. I will say this, and again, I didn't see it, but I'm happy to realize that it's a thing. I cannot tell you how much I love the fact that FTR are the AAA Tag Team Champions. That is the coolest thing. That was such a good idea. That was such a good idea, man, because one of the things I love about it is I just think it's great them coming out as the frogs or whatever they were called. But also
the Minecraft outfits, whatever that was.
My favorite thing about that is that the dudes that talk, no flips, just fist, tag ropes, rules, no blind tags, and I love that they do that. I love that they structure their matches that way. It's an act. There's nothing they can't do. And I love the
Yeah.
fact they went out and had a match for the AAA tag titles, 100% lucha rules, because everybody was in there the whole time. That's how that shit works. When Corny bitches and whines about that, it's like there are no tags in lucha. That's not how it works. Well, it's supposed to be a wrestling company. It's AAA's fucking belts.
Yeah.
They are for the AAA titles, man. They're gonna wrestle lucha rules, man. I love it. I think that's so cool. But as far as them going to Mexico and working that old Anderson Brothers style, that would be awesome as far as getting them heat beyond heat. That it's great. I love it. I think it's so cool. And also, absolutely anytime you can get Pentagon, Ray Phoenix, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler in the same ring, I am 100% in favor of it. As many times as you can do it, please do it. I don't know why. It just never even occurred to me that'd be Andrade's team. And then it's just, I loved it. It's so cool. And that show is, they just are not missing. They just don't miss. It's incredible. Oh, by the way, on the subject of talking about AEW, the one criticism I've heard lately is there are some Moxley fans who are really upset that, well, it just seemed like they've moved on from Moxley. Yep, you're right, they do.
Mm-hmm.
But what's he up to? Well, he went and took his buddy's title, so he's going to work at Game Changer now. All right, good for him, man. Did you hear who else showed up at that last Game Changer show? Thunder Rosa and Jay and Mark Briscoe, which, of course, is thrilling to me because, man, you get Jay and Mark Briscoe anywhere near FTR, I'll be very happy. So that's exciting. That's exciting crap, man. I'm super happy about that because I just don't know. I don't know, but it's cool. I'm glad they're gonna be there doing that thing because, boy, I'll tell you, they're the only issue with getting Jay Briscoe anywhere near Game Changer, and I don't mean to be such a jerk about it, but it's true. Game Changer is deathmatch stuff, and people like deathmatch stuff, and that's all good. Don't put Jay Briscoe in a deathmatch, man, because Jay Briscoe, can work that style, but he's also a hell of a pro wrestler, and there will be no coming back from it. If you have a guy that talented wrestle against Nick Gage, you will never like another Nick Gage match. I'd go that far to say Moxley too, because Moxley, I just don't think he's that good. And so him and Gage, cool. Yeah, man, let them go out there and fight each other. That's all good, but be careful. Be careful with that Jay Briscoe shit because he is real fucking good. He is short list great. So just don't mess up your promotion by putting guys that are too good in there. That's a stupid thing to say, but I was glad they showed up just because I like the idea of them working other promotions. So I'm like, okay, let's keep doing this. This is cool.
Yeah. It's been some slow turning wheels, but I'm ready for that to happen.
Me too. I don't know what Ring of Honor's holdout is, but if we're getting to the end of it, that'd be great, man. I still, excuse me. Sorry, I'm holding out hope for a Lethal Consequences reunion somewhere down the line. That's gonna be awesome.
Heck yeah, be good. That's what I'm talking about, man.
I swear I think I'm done now, finally, man. But I need to talk about FTR because that's just too awesome.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, man. Y'all, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. We will see you again soon, and hopefully we will have more fantastic Braves versus Dodgers news to discuss in a week.
Hey, man, that's what I'm going for. I can't wait.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Y'all be cool.
You, man.
Bye.